Hi, I'm Mike Shackelford, also known as the Wizard of Odds, at the 2017 Cutting Edge Table Game Conference at the Paris Casino in Las Vegas, and I'm joined by Nicholas Pelzar with his game Blackjack's Booty. Nicholas, can you tell me more about it?
Sure. In this game is a simple blackjack game, but the players also play on the side against each other. It's a variant that is more exciting than other blackjack side bets that I've come across. It allows the players one player to win every hand if they play the side bet, and they're losing their against the other players, not the house. So that's kind of an advantage to the players. They don't actually lose to the house. So that's pretty much an attraction to the game, and I feel that it's a better side bet than most blackjack side bets. We've got a chance to win $25 in this game, a $10 $5 game. You could win $25 against. It would actually be $23 after the rake against the other players, but only a $10 bet against the dealer.
Okay, so the concept seems pretty simple. All the players make a side bet of the same amount. It gets scooped together, and then it becomes the booty. And the player with the best blackjack hand at the end of the hand wins?
Yes, and but the booty itself is the progressive pot. After the house settles the pot, it takes a rake. Let's assume that we have a pot here of $20, and a player wins. The house brings out $5, takes $5 out, rakes the pot $2, puts $3 back in, and then $1 goes into the house as their to facilitate the game, and then $1 goes into a progressive pot, which is the booty. The booty's won when either two players or a player and the dealer get suited pairs of blackjacks, and that's hence the name Blackjack's Booty. A 25% pot can be won if a player or a dealer or two players receive non-suited blackjacks, spades and clubs.
All right, so if I understand it correctly, probably most of the time the pot will go to the player with the best blackjack hand, but in certain situations, like you said, with suited blackjacks or whatever, there is a progressive jackpot, and I assume that you rake the pot for some money to go to the progressive, and I'm sure some to the house.
Yes, $1 to the house on that pot, and $1 goes into progressive.
And there would be a positional advantage to the players acting last. So how do you determine, who gets to go first, who gets to go last?
I actually thought about that. There was a suggestion of having a button on this game, kind of like poker, but I didn't think when I was developing the game that would be an advantage. Through trial dealing of it, I didn't see a house advantage there or a dealer player advantage of playing that third hand or the third base. So I didn't change it in any manner for that reason.
Well, as someone who's played a lot of tournaments, I can tell you that there would be situations where you're at last to act, you know what you need to win that pot, and it might change the strategy with some borderline situations.
That's a nuance of the game that, because this is the first showing of this game, that there might be a change made on it, some nuances, some tweaks of the game to make it more in line with the player that is more experienced at the game and would think about something like that.
Okay, my free advice would be to either have it rotate around the table or after everyone has made the bet to somehow randomly determine who has to act first.
That's a good point, and I would definitely consider that. I guess that would be something that any casino that would want to put this game in would probably be able to tweak. And right now I'm trying to sell the concept of this game.
All right, and what happens if there is a tie or everybody busts?
Okay, if everybody busts, nothing changes. The side bet stays the same, and the players have the option on the next hand to either opt out or in on that next hand. A tie would create a second pot unless one of the players wanted to split the pot, and that would be put in the circle on the left. and played on the next hand on the two players that pushed on the first pot. So they would be playing on the new hand against the other players if they were playing on the new pot, and also the old pot that was tied.
All right. Can I play a couple hands?
Sure.
All right. Thanks.
Can I bring my dealer up here?
Absolutely. Because it's a competitive game, we'll look for some more players, and yeah, let's have some fun with it.
Okay. In this game, the players play their hand of blackjack on the side against the other players, but it's just a normal blackjack game, and you're also playing against the dealer. So let's get started. And Catherine's our dealer. Every player gets 2 cards, and the side bet is won after all the players play out their hand of blackjacks. It's not the first 2 cards. So we've got a 20. We've got a 19. 9 hits. 17. All right, she's got 20. 4 up against. I'm going to try and beat the dealer.
Normally, the strategy here would call for standing.
Yes.
But because I want to try to win that pot, I'm going to go against basic strategy.
Right.
Now I'm even put to a harder decision. Yeah, I can.
And he's standing. We've got a bust. So that number 5, his side bet ends up into the pot. Kathleen pulls a 13 and a bust. So she pays out, or pays or takes the normal blackjack bet, flat bet. And then we've got a 20 win on number 1 seat. So she wins the pot. The money is put into the pot. The dealer takes a $5 chip out, pulls out 5 white, takes a $1 rake for the house and a $1 for a progressive pot, which is the blackjack's booty, and the 23 is pushed out to player number 1. And now, in the event of a tie, the players can choose to either split the pot or create a second pot, and it would be marked by the dealer where the chip is, so we remember who gets that pot. Now, in the event of the dealer getting blackjack and nobody else having blackjack, then those bets are stay there. Even if a player has 21, has 17, because the players don't get a chance to pull another card, so that bet would remain the same. The side bet, yeah, sorry, it wouldn't be paid out. So now, dealer has blackjack, and that's just what happened. So the dealer would pick up the losing bets, and the side bet would remain there because, I'm sorry. I didn't see the player. So the player had blackjack, so he obviously pushes with the dealer, and he gets the pot. The rake and the progressive. Now, the progressive pot is won, and that's the booty whenever either the player or 2 players or a player and a dealer receive suited blackjacks, spades, or clubs on their first 2 cards. That pays 100% of the progressive pot. A 25% progressive would be paid if the dealer or 2 players and the dealer get non-suited blackjacks.
Anything else?
We could have a third pot if we had another tie. 2 players pot, that would create a third pot, and from there it gets split automatically. If there was another tie, that gets split automatically. So that's one nuance of the game, and that's pretty much it. You're playing your hand against the other players, and I think it's a great side bet compared to some of the other side bets that I've seen, and it's more exciting because the players get a chance every hand to win a bet.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nicholas.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, everybody, that was Blackjack Spooty. Thanks, Nicholas, for showing me the game.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye, everyone.